Hi knitters, welcome back to Aro Knits and Purls. I'm your host Aro of Aro Knits and Purls. As always, you can find my Instagram, Ravelry, Ko-Fi, Patreon linked in the description below, as well as links to any dyers, makers, designers that I talk about in today's episode. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than normal because today, after I show you what I've been working on, what I finished, I will be talking about my Denver trip. So let me just go ahead right back into it. What I'm wearing, I'm wearing the George's top. I showed this to you guys last time. This is by Kolibri. And again, everything's linked in the description below. Sorry about the still recurring lisp. Most of you guys said that you didn't hear it, so I appreciate that, but I can still hear it, and it feels weird on my tongue. But this is the George's top. It is a tank top, and right now I'm pairing it with this ridiculous twill skirt that I love, but this is the top. It's really flattering. I love how big the bows are, but again, I went for the dramatic option. There are plenty of people in the tag or on the Ravelry project page who don't go for the as dramatic look. In addition to the small bow option, you can choose a no bow option. So the pattern is really versatile and I love mine. I love it. It's over the top. I get lots of looks and compliments, but I like being the center of attention. I'm a Leo. I don't buy into horoscopes, by the way. It's just whenever I tell people, they ask like, oh, when's your birthday? I'm like, the end of July. And they're like, oh, so you're a Leo? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And they're like, that makes sense. And I was like, that seems insulting the way you say it, but okay. Yeah, anyway, so I like the big bows. It makes me feel like a present, you know, and who doesn't want to feel like a present? Okay, and you guys, I talked about this last time, so I won't go too into it, but you know that I like this version so much that I'm actually working on a second version with smaller bows, I think, for this one. Yeah, but this is the gold color. I think it's called Sunflower. This one is Dusty Artichoke, and knitting for olive, pure silk. I love it. I want more and more and more, but as y'all are gonna see by the end of the episode, I do not need any more yarn. Like, you can try to see this right now. I'll get to it, but it's a lot. Okay, anyway, yeah, another thing I finished is my outline tank. And I remember I told you guys that this yarn was a mystery. At the time, it was a mystery, but Nicole, my friend Nicole, reached out and she was like, if you want to know, I know. And I put a poll in my stories and 98% of you wanted the mystery spoiled. So yes, she told me the yarn dyer is Skein yarn, or Skein yarn if you're nasty. No, I'm kidding. You can say it any way you want. I really don't care. But Skein is how I say it. Skein yarn. They're based in Australia. The colorway is called Papaya, and this is how it looks knit up and blocked, and it is a beautiful pink color. Like, I've worn this and I have a finished object photo. It's on my Instagram and it's on my Ravelry, so check it out if you haven't. But I really love this. I actually, because my gauge was so off, I knit the size extra small and it fits perfectly. Yeah, I'm really glad that it worked out for me. If you're not comfortable doing knitting math yet and figuring out if your gauge is off, like what size to cast on instead, if you're not comfortable with it, just keep doing gauge swatches until it works. But if you're comfortable doing knitting math, do knitting math. Because like I said, I wear a size medium or large because I like a lot of positive ease. With this one, again, extra small, and it works, but my gauge was off. So yeah, and if you're a new knitter doing garments, please gauge swatch. You will save yourself a lot of heartbreak. I didn't, and I still technically don't until it's really far in. But that's not a good way to live the way I do. I don't mind the time, but some people do. So like, if you're cool with it, you're cool with it. If you're not, maybe gauge swatch. But anyway, another thing I've been working on is my Brooklyn Raglan test knit for ToriKnits. And I am obviously past sleeve separation. I'm just a couple inches into the body, but you can see the texture taking form here. It's the same texture as the Merkle pullover I showed you, I think 2 episodes ago. Don't quote me on that. But this yarn is House of Ala Mode in her Tweed DK base, and the colorway is called the Aztec, and it's this beautiful, rich, chocolatey, orangey red. I am still taking out tweed nubs as I knit. If you saw my stories this morning, I've been, like, I had a little fistful of tweed nubs that were just on my floor and I just scooped them up. It's just because I like the look of tweed. I just don't want it to be too tweedy. And because of the dark color, the little white tweed bits can look like lint if you're not careful. So I've just been picking half of them out so it has a more consistent look. But I really like this so far. I love how squishy it is. I love the texture detail on the sleeves. And y'all know I love a good raglan. This is gonna have a pretty wide neck, but I like a wide neck, so it's a personal preference. I will obviously show you guys more of this as it works up, but now that it's to the stockinette, just plain stockinette body, it is just flying off the needles. I love it. Ugh. Some of my friends, Shanna, I'm calling her out, she doesn't like a plain stockinette body. She thinks it's boring. And for me, it's like the most therapeutic thing possible. And these days I need calm because things have been stressful. I had a wonderful Denver trip, by the way, but like I got back and things didn't work, just on fire. I have been so overwhelmed and stressed that I like ripped off all of my nails. Like I've ripped off my nails and they're so damaged right now. So I'm just like trying to incorporate anything calming into my life when I can. Yeah. But let's talk about Denver. That's really all I've been working on. It's not a lot, I know. A lot of tees, a lot of tanks, some test knits that aren't ready to show. I finished a secret test knit and I took finished object photos in Denver. I just can't show them to you yet. The pattern is not out for several months. So yeah, but let's talk about Denver because my goodness, what a wonderful long weekend. Oh boy. Okay, so the videos of the Woolberry Fiber Co and Explorer Knits studio walkthrough will be at the end of the video, just because I hate doing the editing back and forth. I'm not good at it, you guys. If I can afford the new fancy iPhone that's coming out later on in the year, maybe I'll actually start editing and doing good things with it. I just need more storage on my iPhone. I just don't have a great storage situation. Anyway, that's tech stuff. I'm not good at it. Okay, so the two dyers that I went to see were Explorer Knits, Allie of Explorer Knits, and Bethany of Woolberry Fiber Co. And I was the first member of the public, as far as I know, to be in the Woolberry one, but I was definitely the first member of the public to be in the Explorer Knits one. It was really exciting. I was so excited. And like, I've never felt more like special, which is so silly to me because I am the furthest thing from anything remarkable. Guys, I'm just a maker. I just make things. I'm working on designs. I've actually started writing out the design. So that's like a really big step for me. But like up to now, I've just made things. And I've been knitting for now this year marks 15 years, but I don't sell anything. I don't create anything other than for me. And I'm just a girl talking at her iPhone like it's people. That's all I do. And somehow some people have been like, you're worth listening to. And that's still mind-boggling to me. I've made amazing friendships. And like, I just, okay. Let me start chronologically. The first place I went to, I'm so disorganized, I'm sorry. First place I went to was Woolberry Fiber Co. Bethany and I have done like a group knit night on like FaceTime, Zoom, but we've never met in person. And when I got there, she had this little goodie bag already made for me. And she's just like, this is for you. And I was like, what? So first off, like, it's the cutest little goodie bag. It was in this one, this tote. This is designed by her adorable husband, Reese. Reese is from New Zealand and he has that thick Kiwi accent, thick. And he discovered that he's actually a fantastic artist in the pandemic. He just like watched a video of how to draw a rose and he was like, yeah, let me just and he was amazing at it. And I remember watching the stories of him as he's like pursuing this artistic pursuit, and he was just amazing at it. And I was watching this like, I want this man to design a tattoo for me. Like, that's what I want. And this is the type of thing where it's like, it's yarny, but it's not in your face yarny, you know? Like, I don't want just a ball of yarn on my body. I want something a little bit more creative. And I think this is so beautiful. I'm gonna talk to Reese later on, but yes, this is the tote bag that she had prepared for me with goodies inside. And then she had another tote bag that she was like, oh, do you want this too? Because this was part of her cabin retreat from this year. Because I love moons. It dates back to me being a child and my obsession with Sailor Moon. But yeah, like this is so beautiful. Their entire family is like so good. They're so kind and talented. Like Bethany, obviously we know is crazy talented, and Reese is the one who like dyes. He does the dye. Bethany like comes up with the colors and whatever, and they work together, and the branding is just on point. Her mom, I met her mom, Bethany's mom. She was in the studio like helping pack orders. Like it's so wholesome and sweet, and they're raising their kids and building a home, and I'm just like, it's just so wholesome. It warms your heart, you know, to see people doing their best and working hard, and like good people getting what they deserve, you know, like good people working hard, earning success. Like what could be more heartwarming? And I think Bethany's family is like 10,000% that. It was just so sweet. Ugh. And she had another little goodie bag. She's like, I know you don't make socks, but I thought this might be a cute little Notion bag if you want to put stuff in. I was like, girl, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a gift. I'm not going to complain about anything. This is so pretty. And she had so many little goodies in it, you guys. Okay. She had this little glass vial full of stitch markers. And like, just, it's so cute. And I love that it's rose gold. I love rose gold. She had a bar of wool soap in there for me from Tuft. It's cinnamon smelling. So in my suitcase, everything, that's just yarn falling, don't mind that. Everything smelled like cinnamon, which is, you know, a lovely scent. I loved it. It made me feel like I was opening up an apple pie that just happened to be in my suitcase. And she also gave me some tea. I love tea. I haven't opened it yet because I wanted to show you guys, but Earl Grey is one of my favorite teas, so love that. So cute. Everything was just so well thought out, and her branding, you guys, is just on point. Okay, and then there's another thing of her branding. She had all these stickers, and if you guys were part of her pre-order for Downton Abbey, you will have gotten it or are getting it soon. I put some boxes together. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just leaving with stuff and not contributing. So I was like, while we're just chatting, can I put together some boxes? And she's like, you want to? I was like, yes, please put me to work. I feel really weird just standing here while everybody's working hard. So I put together some boxes while we talk. And I just wanted to show you guys the stickers that she puts on the boxes. It's just so cute. I haven't opened this actually. This is my first time opening it. And it is these gorgeous little shears, little snippers. Snipsy. I don't know about you, but I always tend to lose these. So anytime I get new ones, I'm like, oh, thank God, I can stop using like kitchen scissors. And I know the people who are into sewing are like the idea of using kitchen scissors on anything that's not like kitchen stuff. I know, I'm really bad at stuff like that. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to treat my making like a ritual, just like I treat making my tea in the morning or lighting a candle with real matches instead of a lighter. So it's a ritual and I want to respect it. So yes, I will be using these beautiful shears. They're matte black, super pretty. Love that. Love that. If you hear that, I live behind like a bunch of auto shops. So they're always doing stuff on the weekends. Okay, yes. So those were the goodies. Let me show you the yarn from Woolberry because there be some yarn. First one is this skein of Eloise on her Berry DK base. Eloise is this light soft pink. It looks more peach on my screen, but it is more pink in real life. The best way I can describe it is it's like the softest ballerina pink. One time Darcy does it, Darcy is one of those makers that I'm like, you watched my video? You watched my video? Like, she was one of those to me. And she was like, you have like 50 words for pink, and I love it. And I was like, I do have 50 words for pink. And they all evoke a different thing, right? At least to me. But yeah, this is like the softest ballerina pink that I can think of. And this I'm obsessed with. Oh my God. This is the colorway Mine. Let me just turn her labels around because I love her labeling. This is the colorway Mine on Berry Surrey. So this is 74% Surrey, 26% silk. It is so soft, and it just has the softest variegation of purpley blue. It's so subtle, it's stunning, and I kind of want a million of these just to have it in my stash, just to have it. It's so beautiful, you guys. Yeah, like you can see the little blue purple speckling down here. Little soft pink variegation. It's just so beautiful, and I love it, and I can't wait to work with it. I'm so excited. Then a couple of her new, well, no, before I get to her new one, this one is also Mine, so it's the same colorway as this, but on a different base. This is her Berry Cashmere base. So this is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So that's what that looks like. And I will compare it with the same colorway, but on the Surrey base. It's just so pretty. I am obsessed. Yeah, I don't even know what to make with it. Just know that I am unbelievably excited about this colorway. It's so pretty. It's so subtle, so soft. It's so me. And I felt so special. Then I got 3 of these guys, but I'm only showing you 2 because it's hard for me to show 3 skeins at a time. This is her Berry Home DK, so it's a little bit more rustic than her other DK base, but Berry Home is 100% non-superwash. It is this really subtle neutral gray, but it's a warmer gray, and I'm planning on using this to make a vest. So you know that like really cute look of like a white button down and an oversized vest to go over it? I think it's so classy, and it's very modern, or contemporary rather, because the modern is supposed to look like the 50s, I think. Yeah, it's very contemporary fashion, and it's really office appropriate to have that oversized vest look. And I just think this gray is going to be perfect for it. You can see it has some warm tones in the back there too. But I am really excited to use this. And it's non-superwash. I prefer superwash because of the texture. Y'all know it's about the smooth hand for me. It's a hang up for me when I can feel a grain. But Bethany's non-superwash, I don't know if she treats it differently, if she pre-soaks it. I should have asked her that. I'm really sorry. I'm not much of a fiber nerd. I know a lot of people get like really into the different sheet and the different treatments and whatever, but I'm only like tangentially about that. I'm much more of a color person, much more of a, is it smooth? Cool, I can vibe with it. But this one is actually surprisingly soft for non-superwash, so I'm really happy. I will have no issue working with this, and that's pretty big for me to feel like, yeah, I could totally work with that, you know? It just doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, just dropping things. That's cool. That's cool. I do that in every video. And this is a new colorway that's coming out. I believe her pre-order is the 30th of June. And considering I'm recording this on the 25th, fingers crossed this video will upload before then. I'm kidding, it will. But yeah, so this is the newest colorway, one of her newest colorways coming out in the upcoming pre-order on June 30th, called Sandcastle. And it's this gorgeous neutrally pink variegated goodness. So Bethany only pre-dyes like one of each base. She has like 15 bases. It's mind-blowing how many bases she has. So these are 2 different bases. This is Berry Cashmere and this is Berry Merino. There will be a price point difference. I suggest you look on her website for the base info. But Berry Merino is her 100% superwash merino. It is 2-ply, so it has that twist, which normally I don't like. But I don't know, for this one, it doesn't bother me. Like, maybe it's because it's softer and not as shiny as some other 80/20s that... so I say 80/20 because that's the most common distribution to have that twist. But this one has the twist, but it's 100% superwash merino. Maybe it's the shininess I didn't like. I don't know. This one is her berry cashmere, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So you see it's very similar, but if you look closely, this one has a little bit more of a sheen to it. The berry cashmere has a little bit more of a sheen to it. It's super subtle. Reese and Bethany have to look at the base closely to be able to tell, but this one is a bit softer as well because of the cashmere content. So that's what I will say. There is a slight difference, but because she only had one of each skein and I really, really wanted this colorway, I was like, I'll mix and match. I'll alternate skeins even. You won't even be able to tell, and I don't think you will be able to. But they are beautiful. And again, this is called Sandcastle. I'm obsessed. And there are a few more colorways in that pre-order coming up that I'm just like totally over the moon with. Oh God, they look so beautiful. One of them is the softest peach pink that I've ever seen. It's called Coral, and I was immediately like, this is the pink that like ends it for me. Not to say that I'll never get a pink again, but like it was just perfect. And I want a sweater quantity of that. There's a darker pink, I forget the name right now, that I'm obsessed with. There's an ice blue, and I'm not normally a blue person, you guys know, but ice blue gets me every time. And Bethany kills with her tonals. Oh my God, she kills. And her variegated too, because Sandcastle, I'm like trying to talk myself out of getting more because I'm like, you just have it. You have it literally in your hand right now. And my brain is like, yeah, but I could have more. And that's if I had a sock pocket. I was like accentuating the more part. Nobody ever said I was cool. I mean, people say that, but they're wrong. So, and this is another Surrey skein called Hearth, like a fireplace, hearth. I don't know if you can understand me with the lisp, but I love this colorway. I've been thinking about making another beret in the middle of summer. No, I won't wear it now. I just want to make a lot of small stuff because it's so hot that I can't imagine working on big chunky sweaters right now, even though that is what I want to work on because I like the instant gratification of big chunky sweaters. It is quite hot. But I am thinking about making a beret. I'm going to hold this together with probably just a neutral. And I think it'll be really cute. I'll probably just use the same beret pattern as I did last year, the Best Beret by James & Watts. And because I loved mine so much last year that I think in Surrey it would be nice and fluffy and be cute. And it's a different color because that one, if you remember, is blue and this one will be pink. So yeah. And the last thing from Bethany was something she was just like, hey, you want to see this? And then after I was seeing it, she was like, hey, you want to take it? And she just like wound it up and printed out skeins for me right then and there. Oh, God. People shouldn't be nice to me. They're not allowed to be. Okay, so this is a colorway I've been admiring from Bethany for a long time. It's called Peachy Keen. Peachy Keen, and this is on her Berry Cormo. Berry Cormo, I was really excited to touch because Cormo, for those of you who are not super fiber nerds, I'm not a super fiber nerd. Some people get real into it. I'm barely tangentially involved. But Cormo is a breed of sheep that is a crossbreed of Corriedale and Merino. So Merino, y'all will know. Merino is, I think, probably the most common yarn, wool for yarn. And then Corriedale, if you guys have worked with Lobby and Corey, you know that uses Corriedale. It has a really soft touch, but it does look more rustic. It has this lovely natural heathering effect is the best way I can describe it. But it has a more rustic look to it. And definitely more rustic feel than Merino does. But Cormo is the cross of that. So think softness of Merino with the rustic look of Corriedale. And that's when you get Cormo. And Cormo here, you can see it's a 2-ply. This is 100% non-superwash Cormo. And it's really funny to hear Bethany and the team talk about it because when it comes to them, it is all natural, baby. It is full of dirt and twigs and hay. Like you can see a little bit of wood right there. Wood grain right there, yeah. Like it'll have bits and bobs in it and it's part of the natural charm of it. Some people, some of my friends who are like super into rustic yarns, they love it. They love it. I don't really have a strong preference as to yes wood chips, no wood chips. It's just never really crossed my mind. But I am really surprised by how much I love this feel. I'm super excited to work with it because this will be my first Cormo project. I've worked with Corradale, obviously I've worked with Merino, but I've never worked with Cormo. And it is actually super soft. Bethany and the team, I know, have to work real hard to wash it out because like I said, when it comes nasty, but it is real good right now. Oh boy. Okay. And let me talk about the yarn stores real quick before I talk about Explore Knits. Okay. So the yarn stores I went to, I didn't get to go to all 3 that I wanted to go to because just the hours that I was there were difficult when I was trying to meet up with friends and do other things. So the 2 yarn stores that I got to go to were Fancy Tiger and Colorful Yarns. Fancy Tiger is not, it's south of downtown, but it's pretty in the city. There is a parking lot exclusive for that little shopping center, and it's across the street from a really nice Vietnamese tea / boba place. It was really good. I loved it. That neighborhood is super cute. Lots of cute little vintage shops, restaurants. It was very nice. And Fancy Tiger is like half, I would say, half a sewing shop, half a yarn store. Their indie yarn selection is limited, I would say, to La Bien Aimée, Nerd String. Nerd String, I think it's called Nerd String. It's Nerd spelled Knerd. They are local to the Denver area. And the Wandering Flock, actually. So, of course, when I see the Wandering Flock, I have to get the Wandering Flock. So I got this colorway that I don't have yet. I don't have it. And I got this on Mohair. It's called Electric Orchid. I've been looking at this on Geraldine's website for a long time. And it's this beautiful, beautiful pink, purple, perfect blend. Like, when you see it, you're like, is it pink? Is it purple? Is it both? It's both. It's just so, so pretty. I love it. And I think I'm split between wanting big, bold colors and soft colors. I think that's been difficult for me to walk that line. Because when I do try to walk the line of more bold jewel tones, people are like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, well, I want to do what I want to do, you know? But this is so beautiful. And Fancy Tiger Crafts has a lot of Wandering Flock, LBA, La Bien Aimée, and Nerd String, as well as other dyers too. It's not just those. Those are just the ones that I made note of because they're not everywhere else. And the fabric selection is insane. I'm one of those people, so funny story. I actually used to work at a costume shop, like a theater company's costume shop when I was in college. And I can't sew a straight line. I am amazing at curved lines, like the crotch of pants that you have to curve. I was amazing at those. Everybody else thought they were so irritating, but me, I'm like, sure, I got it on lock. But straight line, measuring, nah, that ain't my speed. So like my willy-nilly attitude towards gauge and sizing with knitting means I'm really bad at the fundamentals of sewing, which, you know, is like measure twice, cut once. I don't work like that. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm much more of a do first and ask questions later type. So it doesn't translate well to sewing, but I really, really do want to make more garments this year through sewing as well as knitting. So I got a little bit of fabric, not a lot, just a little. So I got a few yards of this Japanese fabric. I don't remember the name, I'm sorry, I'm not a fabric nerd. But this is Japanese fabric, it's double gauze cotton, and I'm gonna make a dress with it. It's this really, really soft, pale purpley pink. I know you guys are thinking like, oh yeah, of course, Aro. Yeah, it's this neutrally pale pink, and it has this lovely abstract petal design to it. And I'm really excited to make it into a dress because I think it will be super flattering on me. Like you can see, like there's a slight shine to it. I'm excited. And then I got this Merchant and Mills linen. I've only got like a couple yards to make a not full circle skirt. I'm thinking like a 180-degree circle skirt, not circle skirt, like 180-degree skirt. So it's like semi-full, I guess is the way I would describe it. And I really wanted this because like, look how pretty those colors are. But also, I want to make this skirt so I can have this to wear for the finished object photo. Because this yellow and the yellow stripes go perfectly together. And again, this is Sunflower and Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. But yeah, I thought that would be super cute. And I want to be more, like I told you guys, I don't really shop for garments like that are like at stores. If I do buy new clothes, they're like TJ Maxx new, you know, like heavily discounted. And I'm the type of person that takes care of my clothes, so I have like things that are like 8 years old and they still look new, and I just wear those. I don't really do fast fashion just because I don't need to buy a lot of stuff. I just use basic skirts. But I want this linen really badly, and this is the year I'm telling myself that I'm gonna make myself sew. So that's what I got at Fancy Tiger. Then I went to Colorful Yarns, and Colorful Yarns is about like a 20-minute drive outside of Denver. It was worth driving to though. You pull up and you're like, this can't be it. It's one of those like renovated office buildings from like the 1980s, maybe 70s. You pull up and you're like, what is this? Is this a dentist's office? Is this like a lawyer's office? And it used to be an attorney's office. Yeah, just one of those things. But you walk inside and you're like, okay, there's like a bunch of bags. On your right is like a library, a knitting room, okay, whatever. And then you turn to your left and you're like, oh, because when you walk in and you turn to your left, it's like this huge room and it is full of yarn. And they have a lot of indie dyers, like a lot. I was shocked because I was not expecting that kind of selection in that kind of building. Like, God, what dyer didn't they have? They had Nerd String. They had local like Nerd String. They had, I can't remember half of the yarns they had. Oh my God. I know they had Spun Right Round. They had La Jolla yarn. They had, oh God, there was just so many. It was so many. They also have basics and more price affordable points. They had a ton of those, but they also just had like a lot of indie dyers. I was like shocked. And like, I didn't even know half of these. That's why I can't name them all off the top of my head. There were just so many. It was mind blowing. I would have liked to spend a lot more time there, but I had like a bunch of other things to do that day. So I was like, I gotta get going. Yeah. And they did have Explorer knits. So I got a couple things, but I can't show you one of the colorways that I got from there because it's a present for my friend. So I can't show her just in case she still watches my videos. I'm not sure if you do, but I can't show you. But I did get a sweater quantity of this while I was there. This is Ali's Rockies DK base, and the colorway is Daybreak, and it is this beautiful orange. It has a slightly brownish tone to it, but it's definitely orange. And I love it because I wanted this colorway last year when she brought it back for her like favorites pre-order, and I was like, no, Aro, you make an orange sweater every year. You don't need another orange sweater. But who am I to laugh in the face of tradition? If I make an orange sweater every year, I need a new orange sweater this year, right? So I need another one, and this is one I have. I'm so excited. And actually, like, I think he's the owner, Viking Yarns, I think, or Viking Dyeing. I'll tag everybody, but he like messaged Ali while I was there. He's like, there's someone here just piling EKF at the counter. And then later I like tagged her in a story like, look who I saw here, and it was just her yarn, and she's like, oh my God, it was you. I was like, it was me. So that was really funny. And he messaged me later. He's like, I'm sorry I outed you to Ali. And I was like, I would have told her anyway. Yeah, it was really funny. But yeah, so I got 2 sweater quantity while I was at Colorful Yarns. I wanted to get so much more, but I was on a budget and your girl really needed to stop buying yarn. That's what I told myself at that time. And then I went to see Ali the next day. And at Ali's is when I went a little bit over the top, a little bit, just a smidge. Okay, so I saw all of the Ireland collection with my own 2 eyes, and I have never felt more personally attacked in my entire life, because the colors were even more beautiful in person than on the screen. And I pulled up my EKF pre-order, because you guys remember I pre-ordered for the Ireland collection, and I had a plan that I was going to show you guys that once it came in. But once I saw all the yarn in person, I was like, oh, I regret not getting that color. I regret not getting that color. I regret not getting that base in that color, because whoo. And Ali was like, you know, I have extras that are unspoken for. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, like you can just go through, pick it. And I was like, oh, well, let me just take a look, see. So one of the things that I picked out with Ali's help and approval was this color combo. And I'm going to use this for the Ali's sweater by S Knits. It's an upcoming test knit, like just starting. And at this point, when I was picking out yarn, I didn't even know that I was in yet. I was just like hoping and praying that I was in, because I loved this motif. Ever since S Knits released the colorwork motif on socks, I was like, oh man, I hope she makes a sweater out of that, because that would be so pretty. I wanted it. And then she did for Ali's sweater. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I get in that test knit, because I want it so bad. And I was like I was thinking about all the color combinations I could do with Ali's yarn that I had lying around already at home. And then when I was at Colorful Yarns, I was thinking about it. And then the next day when I went to Ali's, this was it. Like, this is the colorway Linen. I've used Linen before on her worsted base. I made, if you guys remember, it was my Knit Love Wool 2022 New Year sweater. God, I forget the name. I think it was called the Storyteller. I kept calling it the Storybird or something. I'm pretty sure it was Storyteller. It's on my Ravelry. It's on my Instagram. Take a look. But it used linen and paired with this new colorway coming out in the Ireland collection called Giant's Causeway. And I know a lot of people missed out on the Ireland collection because I probably bought too much. But a lot of people missed out. Ali is bringing it back for a pre-order in September. So if you were super disappointed, I'm sorry. And she is so sorry that she can't like just mass produce. But she can't. Like, she has a team and they work so hard. You'll see in the video, like, they're working like, yeah, but she wants everybody, or at least as many people as possible, to be able to get their hands on the yarn. So she is bringing it back in September. I want to reassure you guys. And please don't be mean to Ali. Like, she is one of the hardest workers. She and Bethany. And I want to take a moment to like give them a shout out, because I told them both this in person, but I was like, is there like something in the water in Denver? Because y'all are both here. And that's weird, because y'all are both, like, I think, extremely successful small business owners, like extremely successful in the yarn dyeing community. Like, not only are they extremely talented in terms of their color and inspiration and the way that they come up with themes, but also they're super nice, like just so kind, like genuinely kind. And also, can I just say, they're the hottest ones in the game. Like, Ali, oh my God, she looks like a model. So does Bethany. And I'm like, you know how they say, like, God is supposed to balance people out? Like, yes, one person can be, you know, whatever, but they lack this. I look at Ali and Bethany and I'm like, what are you lacking? Because me, what I like to tell people is I'm moderately attractive, reasonably attractive, moderately intelligent, hella funny, but super short, right? And I look at Ali and Bethany, who are like tall, model-esque, just stunning, funny, talented, so kind. And I'm like, what are you lacking? What is it? I haven't seen anything yet. So, and I've met Ali twice now. So I'm just like, I have no idea. Like, the first time I met Ali in Portland, and we were across from each other at the table, and we're eating udon, and I'm just like slurping on my nudes, just staring at her, going like, who made you like this? Like, how am I sitting across from you? I'm like, just like awestruck. Oh gosh, it's just so amazing. Yeah, and She does work so hard, you guys, like so hard. It was a bummer because we didn't get to like hang out that weekend because she was just working. The team is almost, I think by now they're done dyeing the Ireland collection, but they've been at it nonstop since the pre-order, and that was 2 months ago. So yeah, it's just crazy. Anyway, I got off track. Yeah, this is what I'm using. I wanted to show you guys before I wound it up to use because it is a beautiful color combination. Then I'm just gonna show you guys. This is Fia. So Fia, spelled Fiad, but it's Fia as far as I understand. And they had so much of this. I think this was the most popular colorway from the pre-order because okay, you know how I have my Calac shelves? First off, Allie, also a big proponent of the Calac shelves. She has a ton in the studio. It's just a ton. You're going to see it in the video. But like the section for Fia is like, how many squares would it be? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Maybe 24 of these squares just full of Fia. Just this colorway on all the bases. I pre-ordered this in the Surrey colorway, or Surrey base, pardon me, but I saw it in DK and I was like, well, now I want it in DK because it's so pretty. It's so delicately variegated, and it has so much depth without sacrificing any of the neutrality. It's just one of those yarns that I know is going to make me look like a weirdo because I'm going to be staring at my chest the whole time to see the color. Do you guys ever have that with yarns where you're just like looking at your own arm, just like, man, look at that color? I've definitely had those projects, and I can tell this is going to be one of them because it's so pretty. Allie. She kills me. And this is Murphy's Brown Bread in the Surrey base. Murphy's Brown Bread I ordered in the pre-order on DK, but I didn't get it in Surrey. I'm not going to hold it together, actually. This one is going to be for another project. But it is so beautiful. It's so good. Look at that. Look, subtle variegation, subtle speckling throughout. It's just so good. This one is Woodruff. Woodruff is one of those that looks, in person it looks more purple. In different lighting it can look more gray. It's just one of those that's gonna puzzle people. And I like those colors, especially because my friend Shanna, for some reason, she just doesn't see lavender. So I feel like this is gonna be one of those where she's like, yeah, your gray sweater. And I'm gonna be like, you mean my purple one? And then she's just gonna call me a liar. But it is a beautiful shade of purple. It is purple. In real life, it does look more purple. And this is on her cashmere MCN base, and I love it. I think I got this in Surrey as well. And in Surrey, it does look more gray because Surrey does have a naturally more warm tone to the base than MCN fingering. But it is just beautiful. And then this one was called Innismore, so like the island of Moor, basically. And it's this beautiful, just knock your socks off blue-green. It looks like the color of sea glass. I'm obsessed. It's so stunning. This is also on MCN fingering, and I am so glad that I got this on Surrey, by the way. In my pre-order, I got it on Surrey, and it is so beautiful on Surrey too, you guys. Like, that was crazy for me, because Surrey, oftentimes, the base tends to be pretty muted. It's matte because of the fiber of the alpaca, the Surrey alpaca. And like I said, the base itself starts off kind of warm, so the way dye takes to it can often look matte and muted. But man, this collection, I don't know how Allie did it, but they look so good on Surrey as well. And I think a lot of people who got the pre-order, when they see other people's Surrey, they're gonna be like, oh dang, now I want that too. I will not. I will be abstaining from the second Ireland pre-order rollout. So please rest assured, after this haul and the haul I had already ordered, I will be abstaining. But like, it's good, you guys. It hits. And I feel like now this episode is gonna be an hour long. So oops, but it is just so good. Okay, what other things shall I show you? Oh, this is also from the Ireland collection. This is Irish Heather. Irish Heather, it's based off of a flower that grows in Ireland, and it is beautiful. The colorway inspiration that Ali put is this field of flowers at like sunset. It is just stunning. And this one I actually want to use held with a single strand of white Surrey or white mohair. I'm in love with this. Like, it's such a beautiful pink, you guys. Pink, purple, orange, like it has it all. I'm just over the moon about this, and it's so pretty. Like, for it to be this vibrant and soft, not muted at all, I'm just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Also in the Ireland collection, this is one of those colorways that I walked in and I was like, oh, I have so many regrets. This is my Guinness, and I didn't get it in the pre-order because on her Instagram page, on her grid, she described it as kind of like a purple brown, and I was like, well, I don't like brown and I don't like purple. But when I saw it in person, I was like, oh, this is like chef's kiss. Like, oof, oof. It's so good. It's so good. Like, it's a perfect neutral, and I can see the purple tone, I can see the brown tone, but it is just so perfectly versatile that it's neither or. It could, I mean, a man is going to see this and be like, that's black, but women and men who are more sensitive to like the cones and spheres, whichever one is the one that shows color differentiation, like they're going to know it's not just black. It is a very rich, complex color. It's just beautiful. Like, it's perfect. I'm so excited about this one. This was one of those that like I saw it on the shelf and it like stopped me in my tracks. It was so beautiful. And I'm trying to talk myself out of getting more, because you guys who didn't get to do the Ireland pre-order, you deserve to have access to as much as you can, and you don't need me snatching more up because God knows I already have enough. So that's what I'm gonna tell myself. It's for you. For you. And also in the Ireland collection, this one was My Goodness. So this one was my Guinness, right? So this is My Goodness. And this one I got on Surrey to hold with this. This one I had pre-ordered in Ali's spring tonal collection. So this is linen again. I showed you linen earlier, but on the DK, this is it on Surrey. And I'm planning on holding this together, single strand each. And I think it's gonna be beautiful. And My Goodness is this beautiful brown, rich tone. Actually, in my head, I called this the Reshma colorway. Reshma of Hello Lavender. She loves these like warm browns, golds. And this really reminded me of her. And I just think held together, it's gonna be so stunning. I'm so excited. And then one more thing I got from Ali, a couple more things. This one was also from the spring tonal collection. This is Rose Quartz. If you guys remember, I have Rose Quartz, but her Surrey. Yeah. This one is darker. Like I said, Surrey tends to take things a little bit more muted. It's because of the base. It's just the features of the base. Even if you use the same amount of dye, it's just different bases take dye differently. But this is the colorway Rose Quartz. And I'm holding this one for another project, so that's not in the picture, but this is also on MCN, and it is beautiful. So good. And this, you'll see it and you'll think, oh, that's Celtic Harp. So Celtic Harp looks a little bit different. This is actually a one of a kind from Ali. This was when she was just experimenting, working on different colors and developing Celtic Harp, and she just had some lying around, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I like yellow. And it does work okay. It's warm enough that it doesn't make me look jaundiced, I don't think. So yeah. And it has like a really good, warm, happy tone to it. And who couldn't use more happy these days? Yes. That was my Denver haul. And yes, we are steadily approaching an hour for this video. Oh my gosh. I am working on other stuff. Like I said, I'm writing out my pattern. I'm still knitting, having a great time. Thank you everybody who met up with me in Denver and made sure I had an amazing time. And everyone who suggested places I go to as well, because I did find a lot of places to go to from y'all's suggestions. As always, I am flabbergasted by how lucky and fortunate I am that I get to meet these people whose work I love and admire so much. I feel unworthy every single day because, like I said, I'm just the girl sitting in her living room talking to her iPhone like it's a person. But I feel so lucky, and I am lucky. Thank you guys so much. I hope to show you more makes soon. I hope you enjoyed this incredibly long video with a lot of yarn. I hope you shop Woolberry's update. Again, that's the end of this month, June 30th. And keep an eye out for Allie's update. Well, her Ireland pre-order again will be happening in September. But anyway, yeah, like watch Allie's space, watch Bethany's space. Go check out those amazing yarn stores in the Denver area if you're ever there. I'm full of love, happiness, good vibes for everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
These are cabinets.
Yep. Some cabinets, dyes, wool.
That's Reese. That's Bethany.
Every day sort of.
There's prepped yarn, I'm guessing?
Yes, so this is all good.
Dyed.
Ready to get dyed.
Oh, you got all the dyes mixed already.
Yeah, yep. So I have all of these. This will be for our collective, so our June collective.
And these are your steaming cabinets?
Yep, steam cabinets.
We use, at my parents' donut shop, we use similar things. They're proofers.
You have a
but
donut shop.
yeah, my parents own a donut shop.
That's amazing.
No.
Yep, so this is everything.
Ooh,
Speckled
they're
right
in there.
now. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Here, all the dyes hanging out.
Pretty looking, but
You know, it does the job.
they do the job. They're much prettier inside.
And there's the shop doggo. Hi. Saying hi. Oh my god, see, you're getting so close.
Always make safe. We have fresh delivery of yarn. And then
Delivery of yarn.
this is everything that's drying.
Drying already.
Everything needs to be stained.
And then I'm going to carefully avoid this new yarn that is not released yet. There's so much on the shelves. So much. Oh my god. And then some knickknacks. Candles. I love. That's all the yarn that has to be prepped for dyeing later. But this is a lot. There's so much. And then that's the best look. Okay. Welcome everybody to Explore Knits and Fibers. I am the first member of the public to be in this space. So let me show you. I love that sign. This is the current being dyed right now Ireland collection. I have ordered so many of these colorways. I don't know if you heard that, but Allie laughed in the background because she heard me say that and she knows it's true. Okay. So first off, you guys might have known that Fia is probably going to be my favorite colorway of this collection, and apparently it was all of y'all's because this, like, I can't even fathom how much there is of this one colorway, you guys. Yeah, so that's not all mine, but I definitely got some of that. This one, the Guinness colors, they're so pretty. Now that I see it in person, it's a challenge. There's more stuff in there. That's Murphy's brown bread. I got some of that too. I can tell. This is their shipping room where they like plan out the order packing. There's the candles from the collection. This is the collection as a whole. This is what Allie took all her beautiful photos with. And it's just so cool. And this place is gonna be full up. They like and they made a sign for me. Love you guys. This is another office room. So pretty. Like they like just moved in. So I feel very honored to be in this space. And they are gonna try to do like love that. They are gonna try to do open to the public events. Like I know Allie wants to eventually do studio tours and classes and stuff. And I just think that'll be super cool. And when she does, I'm gonna drive back in so I can go to them. I've already decided. And this is the skeining room, but I'm not good enough to do it. I tried it once at Woolberry's just now, and it was a fun experience. Don't know that I'd do it again. But yeah, that's Darren. I met her in Portland. She's part of the EKF team. There's a bunch of others that I've just met today. And that's obviously a very industrial sized sink. There are some pots here. This studio is huge. It's enormous. There's all the dyes here. There's some pots here. Let me show y'all. It's cooking in there. Well, they're cooling in there, but yeah. And it's the Ireland collection being dyed up right now. Y'all might know some of these skeins. Some of this is mine. I got a lot of Surrey in that. But it's going. And these are the ones that are done, just hibernating in here until they get skeined up. And look at all this like prep work that goes in. And then look at these are all the boxes of yarn that aren't prepped yet. Like all of this is going to be our yarn, you guys. And that's crazy, crazy. But yeah, I'm so happy that Allie let me come in and check out the studio. I'm the first member of the public in here. So yeah. And we're gonna eat lunch because I brought pizza. Look how cute they are. Look how cute they are. Okay. Allie's measuring. Meredith is pulling. Darren here is prepping. Hi. I want to show you guys how like gracefully she pulls stuff out. It was like wild to me. I like can't do anything gracefully. Yeah, look at that. So confident. Oh, look at that. Well-oiled machine in here. I just want to show you one more time. Look at that. Ah, so graceful. And that's Celtic Harp. I see it. That's some of mine. If it's DK, it's mine.